Hello, my name is Sir Alex, and today we're going to discuss about fractions. What are fractions? What are different types of fractions? And how do you go about solving them? How do we add and subtract fractions? All right? So just sit tight, learn, and I will teach you the easiest way to add or subtract them. Okay, let's start. Here you go. Okay. So, what is a fraction? A fraction is a ratio of two integers. Okay? So fractions can be negative or positive. And what are the types of fractions? Number one, we have the like fractions. Okay, these fractions are fractions whose denominators are the same. Okay, for example, 1 half, 3 over 2, 5 over 2. There. So those are like fractions. Second type, we have the unlike fractions. These fractions are fractions whose denominators are different. 1/3, 1/4, 2/5. These are types of unlike fractions. Sometimes we call like fractions as similar fractions. Another term for that is similar fractions. And for unlike, we have dissimilar. Okay. Another type is what we call as the proper fraction. So what's a proper fraction? Okay. We know the parts of the fractions are the numerator and the denominator. Okay? When the numerator is less than the denominator, then it's considered a proper fraction. Example, 1/3, 2/5, 3/7. Notice that the numerators are less than the denominators. Okay? So let's erase this. Now, aside from proper fractions, we have improper fractions. That's the fourth type, actually. Okay? Now, for improper fraction, the numerator now is greater than the denominator. All right? So, 3 over 2, 5 over 3, 7 over 6. These are examples of improper fraction. Okay. Another one, we have the mixed fraction. Okay. A mixed fraction is a fraction with an added whole number. Okay. So examples are 3 and 1/2, 2 and 1/4, 6 and 3/5. Okay. When it includes a whole number, okay, it is called a mixed fraction. Well, in some books, they are considering equivalent fractions. This is another type. Okay. Now, what are equivalent fractions? These are fractions that are different in form but same in value. For example, 1/2, 3 over 6, 5 over 10, okay? They may have different numbers, they may have different forms, but it's considered as equivalent fractions because they have the same value. All right? So you already know the different types of fractions. Now, how do we go about adding fractions? Okay, I'll try to teach you how to add them very easily. All right? I will erase this. So let's add fractions. For example, 1/2 plus, let's say, no, let's consider 1/2 plus 3/2. Okay. Notice they have the same denominators, which means they are like fractions. And like fractions are very easy to add. Just add the numerator. Okay. So just add 1 and 3, it becomes 4, and then just copy the denominator. So the answer is 4 over 2 or 2. Okay. Now what if the denominators are different? Let's say 1/3 plus 3/4. Okay. How do we add them? Now to add these fractions, there are 3 ways. There are 3 methods. Method 1, okay, we're going to get the LCD. LCD is the least common denominator, or the smallest number which is divisible by both 3 and 4. Okay, so the least common denominator there is 12. Okay, so I will join them under one fraction, that's 12. And then we're going to divide 12 by 3 to make it 4, and then multiply by 1, okay, that's 4. So divide and then times. Okay, so again, 12 divided by 3 is 4, times 1 is 4. And for the other fraction, 12 divided by 4 times 3. So 12 divided by 4 is 3, times 3 is 9. Then copy the plus sign. All right? Okay, and then we add. What is 4 plus 9? That's 13. So the answer is 13 over 12. Now, if you're in elementary level, you're supposed to simplify that into a mixed fraction. But when you're already in high school or in college, that form is already okay. You don't need to change that into mixed fractions because mixed fractions are not allowed in high school or college. In elementary level, yes. So this becomes 1 and 1, 12 as a mixed fraction. Okay? How do we do that? Simply divide 13 by 12. Okay, so 13 divided by 12 is 1. Then 1 times 12 is 12. Then subtract that, it's 1. Okay, so that's method number 1. What is method number 2? Okay, so 1/3 plus 3/4. What we're going to do is make the denominators equal. How do we do that? Well, since the LCD is 12, might as well make this 12. I will multiply 3 by 4. I will multiply 4 by 3 to make them 12. But if I do that, I need to multiply 4 also to the numerator, which is 1. And for the next fraction, I need to multiply this also by 3. In other words, you are multiplying them by 1. And 4 over 4, 3 over 3 is also 1. Okay? You don't change the value of the fraction in any way. We just want to have them same denominator. So this becomes 4 over 12. This becomes 9 over 12. And that's 13 over 12. That's method 2. Method 3 is the easiest. Okay. So write them again. 1/3 plus 3/4. Okay. First thing we need to do is multiply. 3 times 4, that's 12. And then you apply cross multiplication. Okay. This go first. So 4 times 1 is 4. Then add that, copy the plus sign, and then multiply 3 and 3, that becomes 9. So it's 13 over 12. It's just a shortcut. Okay? The only limit of method 3, you can only apply that method to 2 fractions only. If you have a third fraction here, it's not advisable to use that method. Okay? But for the others, even though you're adding more than 2 fractions, okay, you can use method 1 and method 2, but not method 3. Method 3 is only useful for 2 fractions. But that's fast, right, if you're adding 2 fractions. All right? Okay. Next, how do we subtract fractions? Now, the same method applies. Okay? The one I discussed earlier, just make it minus. Simple as that. Again, we're going to subtract 4/3, okay, minus 1/3. Notice they are similar fractions, so it's easy to subtract. Just subtract 4 and 1, we'll get 3, okay, and then just copy the denominator. There you go. And then simplify. Always simplify your fractions. Okay? Number 2, what if they're different? They're dissimilar fractions. Let's say 5/3 minus 1/4. How do we do that? Okay, we apply the 3 methods again. Okay, number 1, get the LCD, so method number 1. 12, divide by 3, multiply by 5. So 12 divided by 3 is 4, multiply by 5, that's 20. And then 12 divided by 4, multiply by 1, okay, so that's 3. So 12 divided by 4 is 3, times 1 is 3. So 20 minus 3, that's 17 for method 1. For method 2, we make the denominators equal. So if it's 5/3 minus 1/4, multiply this by 4 and multiply this by 3. Again, if you do that, you have to multiply the numerator also by 4, okay, and this one by 3, so as not to change the original form of your, or original value of your fraction. Okay, so this becomes 20 over 12, okay, this becomes 3 over 12. What is 20 minus 3? So that's 17 over 12. And then the shortcut method, which is method number 3, okay, multiply 3 and 4. So I'll write the expression again. So that's 12, okay. And then this goes first. Remember, 5 times 4 is 20, minus, and then multiply this. 3 times 1 is 3. So you'll get 17 over 12. All right? Now, if you simplify that into a mixed fraction, it's so easy, just divide it. 17 divided by 12, that's 1. 1 times 12 is 12, and then subtract it. 17 minus 12 is 5. So, in mixed fraction, the value is 1 and 5 over 12. Right? Okay. I hope you learned something today. So first, we defined fraction. Second, we enumerated different types of fractions. And third, we added and subtracted fractions. For my next video, we're going to multiply and divide fractions. All right? Okay. Till next time, bye.